Welcome back, baby. It's the Commissioner's Podcast. And as always, I'm your host and Commissioner, Gloth Man. Joining me today are some special guys. Go ahead. Introduce yourselves, boys. I feel like I talk too much on here.
I talk too much.
Yo, what up? It's the uh, rep from B Liga here to honor y'all again. I'm like the co-commissioner, but only by title,
True.
and I also look terrible in beanies. But we're rocking today.
And then you got me coming off my first win, Chef Boi HC, putting up
Yeah.
the second most points this week.
Ooh.
Shout out to Dill. 0-2 teams representing this past week.
Yeah.
Felt that.
All the winless teams got wins this week, except for Middleman. B Liga and Premier League. I was looking at the Premier League today, and all the winless teams got wins. So there's no, except for
That's
Middleman.
crazy, actually.
And it's crazy because Middleman scored 144 points last week and lost.
Ouch.
But sometimes it sucks to suck, brother. And that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I said at the beginning of the year. You know, when you're the reigning champ, you're gonna get everyone's best, bro. Like it's just psychological, man. The players know. They know, hey, we're going up against the reigning champ. We got to ball out this week.
Absolutely.
So the target's on his back. The pressure's on. He's got to show up in big moments. So 0-3 for the reigning champ. Yikes, buddy. You better start finding some wins. Or it's going to get, or this little stretch of 5 games here, the bye weeks and stuff. Oh, man.
Yeah. Bye week's coming up. We're going to
tough.
start playing a big effect to everybody.
Yes, the bye week is... It's already biting me in the ass a little bit. Well, it's not necessarily biting me in the ass, but it's just unfavorable. With the Eagles, Lions. I think there's another big team the Titans with week 5 bye week.
Yeah, like we were just talking about, Will's just so lucky. I have Saquon, and he's going to dodge Saquon.
Lucky duck.
That's ridiculous. After trying to trade for him all week, saying he'd give me his whole team, and I still turned him down. He's not going to have to go against him next week. It's ridiculous.
Lucky man. Speaking of the trades, the embargo is over. The two sides have come to peace, and that's a great sign for the league. It's a great step, and the trades are flowing in. People are more open to trading with the commish. Me and Dylan had a big trade right before the weekend, and it helped both of us immensely. Him getting DK Metcalf, me getting Stephon and Zach Moss. Big time trades. Another trade pending, just a small one. Nothing too major there. But the trade routes are open, boys. So, let's negotiate. All right, be reasonable with your trades. All right, be reasonable. You gotta give up something to get something. All right, keep that in mind. Where do you guys want to start? Like, what's like the big topic for you guys right now? Like, what's something you guys want to like get off your chest? Do you guys want to dive into? Like, what do we think?
Oh, man. I'd probably talk about the big shuffle that we had in the standings this past week. Tons of movement, tons of moving here and there.
It's it's crazy. Because like I
only
think like
2 3-0 teams left.
And after this week, it'll only be one.
Only be one. They face each other this week.
Who's the 3-0s in A League?
Me and Kyle. Me and Barry's boys. For those of you following along.
Got lucky. Barely beat me by 5 points. 6 points.
Got his ass.
So I can't really see the teams in A League. Why don't you describe them? Why don't you describe the 2 undefeateds that are going head to head?
Yeah, let's talk. We can talk about that matchup real quick. Let me get the set up here so I'm not looking all silly. But yeah, so myself is Commissioner's Honor Roll, 3-0. Barry's boys on the other side, Kyle. This is what the starting lineups are looking like as of right now. We'll see, injuries may play a part in this, but quarterback, he's got Lamar Jackson. I've got Kyler Murray. So he's got maybe a little bit of an edge. I kind of got the Kroger version of Lamar, I'd say. Even I wouldn't say Kroger, but maybe just like one's
Competitive
Adidas.
brand.
Yeah, one's
Competitive
Adidas, one's
brand.
Nike. Nike delivers more.
At
Hey,
least
you may
we're
be store brand,
fans.
but store brand's nice sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. So Kyler's nice, but Lamar's got a tough matchup with Buffalo. Kyler's got Washington, so I feel like the matchup might be there for me. Running backs, he's got the edge. I'm not gonna. Well, he's got the better running back. He's got out of all the running backs playing in the matchup, he's got the best one, Alvin Kamara. He has Najee Harris as well, but I have David Montgomery, Zach Moss. So I think maybe he's got 1 and 4, and I got 2, 3 on my side. It's just Kamara can score 40. That's the
Yeah.
difference, really, and that's scary. That's definitely scary. Um, Wide receivers, I'm a little banged up. AJ Brown's down, Cooper Kupp is down, but I did make a trade for Stephon Diggs, so I got Diggs, Garrett Wilson, and Amari Cooper in the flex. He's got Tyreek Hill, who's kind of been up and down. Don't really know what he's doing. But
Never in my life did I think that I'd ever see the day where Garrett Wilson was projected higher points than Tyreek Hill.
That's crazy,
Isn't
right?
that crazy? But the thing I'm worried about with Garrett Wilson, he's going to be seeing a lot of Pat Surtain. Surtain or Tan?
Surtain.
Tan. So
He is too,
Can't
baby.
contain, though.
he does contain them boys. So I don't know. Does he usually just kind of shadow number ones, and that's just how their defense rolls, or
He does.
okay?
He does.
It's always the number 2 that scrolls us, that screws us. So if you got Alan Lazard, I would definitely start him.
I was going to say Alan Lazard, or maybe a Mike Williams. Like I feel like Riley Moss is on this. Like not. He's not like the biggest guy. He's not like 6'4", is he? He's like 6
Nah,
foot
he's
probably.
shifty. He'll stick to your side, but he's not going to be the one going up for
The deep ball. So I'm like,
jump ball that's
they might be
up in
trying to
the
get
air.
some deep opportunities with Mike Williams and Alan Lazard on him, but we'll see. Garrett Wilson is a dog, bro. Like, it's gonna be a good matchup. Like, it's gonna be tough sledding though. He's gonna have to be on his A game. But Stephon Diggs against Jacksonville. He's got Mike Evans. Sorry, against Philly. Tight end. I'm in the middle process of getting Kyle Pitts right now. Other than that, I have Hunter Henry. And then
Such a dumb trade.
and then George Kittle is his tight end. So
Oh, can
he's got
I
the
ask
edge.
why you're trading for Kyle Pitts?
The reason I'm trading for Pitts is I know he's been disappointing, but the reality is his disappointing is like 5 points. My highest tight end score all year is 3.5. I've had a new tight end every week, bro. Like
Ouch.
I tried Johnny Munt week 1 for the Vikings. He got 2 catches for like 10, 15 yards. That was my best score. Then I went fucking then with Jordan Akins week 2, Browns second string tight end replacing Njoku. He got 2 points. And then this last week Hunter Henry had like 2.8. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
dude,
that was rough.
if I can get a consistent 5 points a week from tight end, I'll be happy. And then he has a better upside of a touchdown than any of these other dudes.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. He won't do shit and then just get like a random touchdown at the end zone when I need it to be someone else.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But-
that's what I need. It's just someone that's going to score a random touchdown like once every 4 weeks, and a guy that's going to get 3 catches for 20 yards every week. That's what
I'd
I need from
recommend
tight end.
if he's still on waivers, I would definitely try to pick up Tyler Conklin for the Jets because in my 10 plus years that I've watched the Broncos, we can't guard tight ends for shit. And if Surtain's going to be on Garrett Wilson, then
Yeah.
we may have Moss on Lazard or Williams or whoever it's going to be. No one's going to be on Tyler Conklin. I actually picked him
Yeah.
up in a few
You're
leagues.
gonna have old ass Alex Singleton on him who can run a 5.8 40.
nice.
And then he just got hurt this morning. He tore his ACL.
What?
Really?
He's out for the season. Alex Singleton
No.
got hurt.
way.
So that's 2 middle linebackers. You guys have season-ending injuries. That's
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
Wasn't there like a Jonas
Uh,
Ellis
um,
or Jonas Gray or
I thought
Wait, got Jonas Griffith.
Browning got hurt.
Jonas Griffith? Is he an edge rusher?
Yeah,
or
we were
is he
gonna cut him
a linebacker?
anyways, but
Oh, were you?
he did tear his ACL. The same one he tore last year too.
Yeah, poor guy.
But Baron Browning's on the IR. He's not out for the season, but he's on the IR.
Yeah.
Baron. I do
I
love
think
you.
that's
I
what it was.
forgot that.
I
That
do love
sucks.
your
Alex
guys'-
Singleton's a tackle machine.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so at least as far as fantasy goes, I would definitely pick up Tyler Conklin if you got him.
Yeah, Clint. Shout out to Clint. He changed his name to Cup of Bullshit after a trade got vetoed week 1, which would have got me Mark Andrews, but he would have gotten Cooper Kupp for me. But the league vetoed it, and he was very salty because Cooper Kupp went off week 1 and Mark Andrews didn't do shit. So,
Well, we did just pick up that K1 Alexander guy.
Quan Alexander, nice. Bet.
Yeah, we signed him to the practice squad.
That'll work.
But now I know why.
Yeah, that
Yep.
sucks. You hate to see injuries like that.
That's brutal.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, you should tell him about that trade that how you're gonna get Kyle Pitts.
Oh yeah, I'm getting Kyle Pitts from Will.
Oh, from Will. Okay.
Yeah. So obviously I had to give up someone pretty good. So I gave him Roma Dunze and Cam Akers.
Interesting. Okay. I'm curious to find out who will be the winner of that trade, but
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess.
because I'll be honest, despite his performance last week, I'm not too high on Roma Dunze. Maybe that's just the Packer fan in me talking, but you know.
It's neither here nor there. Either way, Will needed a flex guy. He's got him.
I guess that's true.
And he needed some depth at running back. He gets a guy that could be a starter.
That's not depth. That's a backup running back that's
Play
in
for.
a running back room.
It's like having Zach Charbonnet.
But at least Charbonnet plays. I don't even know where the fuck Cam Akers is.
Cam Akers, he's in Houston. He scored a touchdown last week.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Only because Joe Mixon's hurt.
Yeah, and Mixon's
He
hurt
coming
again
back.
No, he's not. He's hurt this week.
And they have Damian Pierce.
Well, hey, it's more like a dog on Will because he traded for Cam Akers.
Listen, I gotta defend that trade till it goes through.
Oh yeah, I guess we do got to make it sound good. Yeah, no, Cam Akers is a dog. He's a dog. He'll keep getting shit even after Mixon's up.
When he's out there, let's look at Cam Akers right here. Let me look at his fucking stats for you boys. All right, he's got 16 carries, 53 yards, bro. That's only the last 2 weeks. So, and he's got
16 carries?
He's got four targets in the air and a touchdown receiving.
Okay, I must not be paying. I guess I'm not paying attention to the Texans right now. But yeah, I'll take it back.
Listen, people love Damian Pierce. They don't like Damian Pierce in Houston. You can tell, bro, because they brought in Joe Mixon. They brought in Cam Akers. He's been there. This new coaching staff doesn't like him as much. He's not a good runner. He's not going to fit in the system. It wasn't good last year. Isn't good this year. So Cam Akers, maybe he's not on the depth chart right now, but by week 5, 6, he's going to be that number 2 guy for sure. It's good depth. Hunter, it's good depth, bro. And you know it. You're just hating.
Whatever, man. You sold him. That's all that matters.
We'll just flame Will if he gets on here today.
Listen, hey, when teams are desperate, like, sometimes you gotta take a risk on a guy. Like Odunze popping off.
He's on the Bears offense. That offense is not going to pop off until 2025.
If that.
Maybe.
The end of 2025.
Hey, at least we're not
There
Bear,
we go.
not Bear fans like Remy is.
Well, sorry for them.
Yeah,
I do feel bad for them a little bit.
I do.
I don't.
I'm a Barrett Browns fan, bro. I don't care about nobody suffering.
That's fair. Yeah,
I got
you've
too
suffered
much
more
to
than
worry
anyone.
about. I got too much to worry about, bro. I just gotta worry about the Guardians, baby. Let's go. We just clinched a first round bye in the playoffs. Let's go.
There you go.
let's go.
You're the best closer in
Now they
baseball.
just
Best
got to keep
bullpen.
it up. They can't turn around and say, "Oh, now we're in the playoffs. We're good."
Yeah, they got to start hit. They got to hit the ball.
Speaking of clinching playoffs,
Padres.
Padres.
The fathers or the parents.
All right. Well, why don't we get into the rest of the matchups from A? I'm curious to
Let's
see
do
how
it.
things went there.
Are you want to know about what happened in week 3, or you want to look? Are you trying to look forward to week 4? What?
Either
Let's do
or.
week 3.
I feel like we can touch on week 3 a little bit for each team before we get up to
Yeah,
4.
absolutely. Let's talk about Hunter getting his first win of the
Let's
season
do that.
because it was a fucking big one. And it could, I don't know, I want to get your opinion on this, but it seems like you're about to just start catching a little bit of fire. Just with how your guys are playing, the scores you're putting up, I don't know. Where do you stand?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we come in, we're facing a 1-1 team. We're 0-2. Can't go 0-3. Can't allow it. And then, we have some good performances the first 2 weeks. Not anything spectacular. Little nervous about the team, especially after only putting up, 90 points week 1. 121 last week, or, week 2. I'm like, okay. And then finally, we pieced together some really good outings. Even with a 3.4 performance from the flex and Zamir White, shouldn't have done that. Should have left Singletary. Didn't think that the Browns defense was going to allow that to happen. But, he plays the Cowboys on Thursday night, so he's right back in that lineup. And then you get 26 from Burrow, 36 from Saquon, 28 from Dallas Goedert, 15 from the defense.
God damn.
Yeah.
You did have a big week. Holy hell.
163 to 109.
And then, it's like everyone's starting to put it all together at the same time for you. Drake London starting to go back-to-back weeks with touchdowns.
That's right.
DJ Moore, he's clearly the number one there. They're going to feed him a lot of targets. Now, Dunze is a little more bigger threat in the red zone. Maybe. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, Zamir White, I think I understand where you went. You were looking at the matchup with specifically, I think probably with him facing Carolina. You thought maybe they were going to have a pretty good run game there, but
Yeah, absolutely.
Singletary. I mean, he didn't have anything crazy. He did fumble. He did get the touchdown, and he was a big factor in the pass game. A lot of the Browns just gave up the flats. We were just not covering the flat at all, and he was just cooking out of the backfield. Yeah, good week for you, man. So
Yeah.
and like obviously your team captain, your hero, Saquon Barkley, doing what he does, your first round pick. Looks
Almost
good.
averaging 100 yards a week.
Looks good. I know the Giants fans are kicking themselves in the ass. But
Yeah,
he
him
looks
and
good.
him and Malik Neighbors would be a force to be reckoned with right now in
Oh man, could you imagine?
G-Man land.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now we just got to
honestly,
build
I
off
think,
of it.
yeah,
Can't be content.
got to stack it. Got to stack it. Hopefully that Falcons offense can stay consistent.
But I mean, who would have thunk that having the number 1 tight end and the number 1 running back on my team would come from the same team in Philadelphia?
I know that's insane. It's insane. And I mean, you expect more from Marcus's team, from more than 109. You know what I mean? C.J. Stroud had a stinker. J.K. Dobbins faced a really good defense. Jordan Mason. Is it Jordan Mason?
Yeah, he really had a really good week 1. He took off, and then after that, I think it's just been mediocre at best for him.
Yeah. I mean, Rasheed Rice, 12 catches. It seems like he's kind of has some of those similar issues that maybe your team experienced. Like, a couple guys will go off, but like not enough to where you really put up a big number. 30 points from Rasheed Rice, but no one even cleared 15 other than that. So it's tough to beat a team that's dropping, 26, 36, 18, 28, 15. Like multiple guys hitting 15 and above. You got to hit that point. You got to get at least 2 or 3 there to try to put up that
Absolutely.
crooked number. But that was a good matchup. I'm excited to see what other matchups happen. Going to Kyle's last matchup, he faced Spencer Middleman. Spencer Middleman, not a good week. Only
The reigning
barely
champ 0-3.
0-3. Takes the loss here. 39-point blowout. Just didn't have any juice, man. He had Aaron Jones and Devonta Smith before he got the concussion. But other than that, pretty weak performance from him.
And to be fair, if Kyle didn't have Juwan Jennings go off for 47.5 points,
That's true. It's a completely different game.
that's a completely different round.
Yeah. So, but I mean, he probably plays either T. Higgins or Najee, and still wins, but definitely by a slimmer margin, I would say.
Absolutely.
Also, interesting decision here. Benching Patrick Mahomes for Derek Carr.
Wow. I didn't see that.
Now, probably doesn't make that much of a difference, but still, bold move. Didn't pay off, but I don't think it really would have mattered. Still,
And that's a rough bench right there. I didn't see his bench.
Yeah, bench kind of had a good day. Well, not really. Defense could have made a difference, though. Brock Bowers, kind of nice. Brock Bowers doing way better than I thought he would. Cup of bullshit. It's my cousin Clint. He got a win, not a pretty win, but hey, a win is a win. You'll take him where you can get him. You know, I know Middleman would love a win right now.
Absolutely.
Cup of bullshit, taking the win 100-63 against Manfred's bitch, which is Cade, and Cade is struggling. Quarterback's just not enough for him there. A lot of injuries for him. Puka Nakua, he's got Jonathan Brooks waiting for him. Evan Ingram's been out. Zay
Gus
Flowers,
Edwards has
Jalen
been non-existent, which is kind of crazy. I really thought that would have been a 2-back room.
Yeah, JK's really stood out. Jamison Williams, stinker, 1 catch for 9 yards. Must have had a rush for a loss of some yards. Yeah, just a tough week for him. He's really riding his running backs, Bijan and Jacobs, and they put up barely 20 together. So he's gonna need running back play to really help him win, and he just didn't get it this week. And Clint, a big week from Josh Allen, too much to overcome, followed by Jonathan Taylor. Pretty top heavy for Clint too, running.
Absolutely.
He got 0 points from his wide receiver too, Shaheed, and Laporta's been struggling, -4.
He just got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah. So he actually just picked
Did he
up.
really?
He picked up Conklin. I don't know if it's like how serious it is, but he definitely.
It's a ankle sprain.
Low ankle sprain. Yeah.
Yeah. But he has Mark Andrews too.
He does have Mark Andrews.
That's not much of an improvement.
No.
Which is crazy to think.
He's projected 7 points. Mark Andrews.
Yeah, talk about a fall off. I'm thankful I only drafted him in one league, but holy hell.
Dude, he fell off a cliff, bro. Insanity.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's more of the scheme that they're writing up, or if he's just not getting open, or if Lamar's just not seeing him. But whatever's going on over there in Baltimore, that's brutal. That team is 0-3. Or no, they're 1-2. They barely beat the Cowboys. Barely beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, they almost blew that game.
Yeah.
To the Cowboys, man. Holy cow.
I think it's a scheming issue because the little bits I've been able to see from the Ravens, he's been getting blocking assignments, and I think because of his age and because of his season-ending injury last year, I think they're just trying to take it easy on him, especially if they have Isaiah Likely.
Yeah.
So it makes
Even
sense.
then, after we won, the tight ends have just been non-existent in that passing game whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's kind of almost similar to what I think Travis Kelce's doing. Granted, I think the Chiefs can get away with it better because they have a lot more explosive weapons, I'd say.
They actually have receivers this year, which is sad to say.
Yeah, and so I'm sure Mark Andrews at some point will start to get active, but really disappointing on the fantasy side of it. And
Absolutely.
on top of that, you have Sam Laporta get hurt. Man, the double tight end situations doesn't play out well, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a fan of it. Wasn't a fan of it. Granted, he did get the trade that vetoed early in the year. That kind of screwed him, so I'm sure that doesn't help. But tough to see it, man. You tough to see it. Big Daddy D, Dylan, taking on Jake's America's team, and this was a blowout from the beginning, man. Dylan had one of the best weeks you can ask for in a fantasy season, man. 31 from the running back, 31 from running back, 28, 23 from the receivers, 15 from the tight end, 25 from your flex, 24 from your defense, man. 24
Yeah.
from your defense. And then your
That he picked
kicker
up right before that weekend, just
yeah,
for
just picked him up off waiver, man, just for the matchup. And it paid off. And if he would have played Dak Prescott over Baker Mayfield, it would have been even bigger of a massacre.
over 200.
He would have eclipsed 200. So
Damn.
Big Daddy D, manager of the week. Congratulations. First win, right?
Yep.
So getting his first win in big fashion, that's what he's looking for. Big trade. That trade helped him out. DK Metcalf, 23 points. And it obviously didn't slow up his running back room. They each had 31 apiece, so 25 from his flex. So that trade helped him out, and that trade definitely helped me out. Stephon Diggs, good week, and then Zach Moss got that touchdown as well. Jake probably needs to do better than 114. That's a good score, though. It's not a bad score. It's just you don't feel really confident in a 114 score in this league just because guys, I mean, we've seen guys, popping off for 130, 140, 150. So 114, good score, but you feel confident more getting into the 120s, I'd say. And this last game, what a stinker this was, man, from the get-go. An 83-68 win for Remy this week. And this is kind of how Remy operates, man. Like, he's going to win these little slug outs. You don't want to slug it out with Remy because he's going to win these low-scoring kind of games.
Just
bro.
tends to catch teams on their bad weeks.
It's crazy how he can do that. But yeah, 83-68 win. Remy's in trouble though, man. Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce underperforming. Eckler in concussion protocol. You feel good about James Conner. You feel good about Amon-Ra, but you don't know. You don't know about those other pieces.
Yeah, no, it's a tough week for your team when you have 6 guys on the bench and they put up 12 more points than your 10 guys in your starting lineup.
Yeah, that's that's brutal. But I mean, he ran into Teal Barbie, who was 2-0 going into this matchup, and just bad week for him. 1 point from Jalen Warren, 1 point from Calvin Ridley, 0.3 from Stevenson. Like, just too much to overcome, and just couldn't get it done. Jalen Hurts not a big week, so big fat fucking L for Teal Barbie, who will probably end up being the jabroni of the week since Will, who I kicked the shit out of this week, 135-74. Will had a very, very miracle performance from Jamar Chase, who outscored his whole entire team, basically.
Yeah.
Like, Jamar Chase had 31. The rest of his team had, 40. So, 43. So
He was crying that his team didn't have pieces.
Yeah, come on, he's got Jamar Chase.
I guess he just has one.
He's trying to trade him for piss.
Yeah, he's trying to get rid of all of his freaking.
I'm like, if you're gonna trade Jamar Chase, you better make it worth a damn and get a starting running back and a starting receiver worth a damn. But
Yeah, that's tough.
It is what it is. He's his own man. So that's what happened in week 3. Let's talk about B Liga. B Liga rep. Take us through some of these B Liga matchups this week. Some pretty fun ones, if I don't recall looking at some of the scores.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Let's just start with yours. Feel like you had a good matchup 0-2 guy yourself coming. Like I said, big week for the winless teams this week, other than Middleman. I will
Yeah,
keep bringing. I
thank
will
God.
keep
Now I
bringing
can
it up.
actually speak pridefully about my team. Um, yeah, good week. I can say that I maybe got lucky because Mr.
Erdman,
Mr. Erdman
the
only scored
Erdman.
81 points against my 114. So I'm happy for the win. I'll take it. I looking on my past scores, I think I still got to work on my team a bit because 114 is the highest I've scored so far.
Oh, snap.
So, but
Yeah,
it's just there's always someone hurt on my team. Always. I got AJ Brown and I got George Kittle on the bench because they're hurt. Jalen
yeah,
Waddle, he's cursed with the boil. And but yeah, no, I'm happy for the win still. I can't wait for next week. Um, but yeah, um, he although Erdman did have Marvin Harrison and Justin Jefferson give really good performances, it's surprising he had. It's just he has good pieces on his team. It's just they didn't show up. James Conner 3 points, Anthony Richardson 5. Tampa Bay going up against Denver, only scoring 1 point on their defense.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't count him out, but he just got unlucky this week.
yeah.
Glad it was
Tough.
against me, but you know.
Yeah, well, that's always good. It's when someone struggles on you, but yeah, good first win though. Hopefully that can get your team rolling. What's the next matchup on your end?
Next up would be my brother Hallmayan Jigba's versus. Oh wait, no. This is next week. Hold on. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. Hey, I will say you called the upset.
I
You
called
called
the
the
upset,
upset
and by
in your hot
golly,
takes.
156 to 100.
You
Eric
called it.
told you the matchups weren't there. I'm glad my hot
Woo!
takes are correct.
Nice. I
Well,
love that.
except for the tie, but that almost happened.
What was your football hot take?
That the Ravens and Cowboys would tie.
Oh, that's right. Close
And
enough.
they almost came back. I was cheering for the. I never thought I'd cheer for the Cowboys, but goddamn. But yeah, Mr. Swollen Units. Holy shit! Jamar Chase, Kyler Murray, Saquon, all high performances. Um, Eric had some good people too, but it was not enough. It's just Swollen Units. Good shit. Beating by
Yeah,
50 points.
that was his first win as well. So,
Hey,
big win for him.
props to the underdogs.
He needed to get rolling. He did. So good for him. Yeah.
But it
Moving
is
up one and
this
two.
next matchup that I am much more excited about
No.
because not
This
only was my
bullshit.
prediction correct, I got some debts to collect.
This dude.
I see you're dressed appropriately.
I am. Listen, if he just plays Eckler over fucking Rashid Shaheed, who got 0, we win, and you're showing nipples on this pod.
Literally, he got 0 points.
Zero.
Anyone else?
And it was a 2-point game, man.
Hey,
Pickens up your
2 points. I
sister.
want to see the 2.
This is what this is what you get for fucking being the guy for picking a goddamn Steelers fan to win in a big moment. They fucking
Oh,
shout out. Ah,
emotional damage. I know we show the other side too.
you perverts. All right. The debt's been
Perverts, he
collected.
But yeah, no, it was a very close matchup. Like you said, 2 points. It's just, yeah, it came down to Rashid Shaheed. Saints, what the hell?
And he had chances too, man. There were a couple deep balls that looked like he could have caught maybe, but they were pretty
Yeah.
contested.
Such a weird game. I watched that whole thing, and yeah, it's just a weird game.
Tough,
But
bro.
but yeah,
tough.
Mr. Baked Mayfield, he had top performances: Rashi Rice, DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson. Good starts, man. Good. You helped your brother out. I can't be thankful more. But I do play him this week, so he's got to go down.
Fuck you. But yeah. I owe you $1 also, so. Thank you.
$1, okay.
Next
Uh,
matchup ended up
Next
being pretty
matchup:
close.
Prestige Worldwide versus Slick Conseco. Another close one. This one
Another
only by
close one.
3.
Yeah. Josh Allen, dude. If Josh Allen stays in that game, it doesn't get pulled. We're maybe talking of a all-time comeback right here.
Oh,
But
it would have been fucking fantastic.
um,
I was devastated. I was hoping for the comeback just because I root for the underdogs. But yeah, just 3 points off. That's sad to hear.
yeah, so Slick and Cinco moving to 1-2, but the needle's pointing up for him. Stevenson's not going to be a .3 guy every week. You would hope.
No, it's just a bad
So
matchup against the Bills.
so he's got a good opportunity there, and then Prestige Worldwide 3-0. I think he's the only unbeaten in the B Liga.
I
So
think so too. Yeah,
um, he's kind of emerging as the guy to beat. Target's on his back now, so we'll see if that kind of changes the dynamic. Maybe guys bring their A game more, but looking pretty good at 3-0. Slick and Senko moving to 1-2, but he's definitely pointing in the right direction. He's been kind of low scoring the last few weeks, so to get up to
yeah.
the almost to the 120s is pretty good. Good
He'll
feeling.
get there. He's got Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, who still gets points.
Yeah,
Um, he has Lamar.
he does. He has got both of them.
Interesting. I would maybe start trading one of those away, see if you can get some better, get a better tight end and a better running back, and I think you can make up for those 3 points. But the next and final matchup is Gridiron Gods versus Kirko Chains, 119-73. Yikes. Um, he's still got a good he's got a good team. It's just talk about bad luck with matchups this week. Baker Mayfield 8 points. Normally he's great. Jerome Ford 10. That's all right. Tyreek Hill, man, Tyreek Hill. That's got to be brutal. 7 points.
Tough.
Um, Dallas defense -6. Yeah,
Brutal.
that's just bad.
That's
And looking
tough,
at his
man.
bench, he's got Amari Cooper and Jaden Daniels, each with 27 and 28 apiece.
Yeah, that changes the game for you, man.
Yeah, that might have bought you the win.
Yeah. Gridiron Gods getting his first win. Matt Borgman started out the year really rough, 50 points. Got to 100 last week, now up to 119, almost 120. So maybe he can start to feel a little better about his team. Hopefully, Brandon Ayuk can start playing better. Hopefully, Kelsey gets involved. But yeah, man, B Liga's looking. It's competitive down there, man. Like I said, there's only one undefeated team. There's a lot of teams that are 1-2, 2-1. So this is a big week, right? Guys that are down 1-2, trying to get up to the 2-2, get to 500, kind of have a little reset in the early in the year. But then you got the guys that are 2-1 they can get to that 3-1, feel pretty good about a loss later on down the road, set yourself up for a late season injury or something.
Yeah,
It's competitive as
Yeah.
fuck down there, man, and I'm excited because it just adds that much. It's just so much more fun now. You gotta pay attention to
yeah.
these
I
B-Liga
think we all
guys.
got some fire down here. We're all dogs. We're good.
Yeah, I mean it's such a historic season. Like every milestone met is like the first one. So it's like that idea to be the first B Liga champion is like I think that's really got you guys like really channeled in, locked in, and ready to go. Like I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. I'm for sure ready to win it. I'm ready to get up and make some noise up in A. But I just got to clear some weeds first. But I'm sure that's what everyone else is talking about too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because Waddle you doing Step Burrow is not done. We're
Ooh.
we are coming back, and we are coming back strong.
Right. Okay. Well, then, you know what? Let's just get right into the B Liga matchups for week 2.
Okay.
Since
Yeah. Let me
we're
pull
just
them up.
on the B League this year, let's just go right into your matchup. You said we kind of alluded to it earlier. Baked Mayfield coming in, little bit
Yeah.
of little bit of a difference in projection. 133 for Mayfield, and then just 119 for the What Are You Doing Step Bro,
Yeah. Objectively, he's got the better team than me. I'm still hanging around the 115 to 120 kind of projection, so I'll definitely have to do some movement, see if I can't make a trade happen before Sunday. But yeah, the only thing that I got going for me is some of the matchups. I got Joe Burrow going up against Carolina, Josh Jacobs going up against a rivalry in Minnesota. That's going to be such a good game. Mike Evans against a very broken Philly defense.
Yeah, they suck.
I hope to Christ Kittle can come back, but he's going up against the Patriots. But not to dog on his. He's got Jalen Hurts against Tampa. That should be good. Bijan against the Saints. I want Bijan to do good, but against the Saints are just such a weird team this year. They have a really good defense.
They're weird, unpredictable.
Achan against Tennessee, that's great. Rashi Rice against Chargers. Amon Ra against Seattle. He's got some good matchups. So I'm gonna do everything I can to change. But if these are our two teams going into Sunday, I think he's got the win.
Yeah, he's definitely loaded. The one thing I will say about these high projection teams, like there's a lot of like pressure when it comes to that. Like you're really relying on all your guys to get 13, 14, 15 points, and a lot of these guys are kind of boomer bust types. Achan's kind of boomer bust. Kincaid's not been very good. Metcalf, same thing, boomer bust. It's just because my team right now, I'm kind of in the same boat, like a 115, 120 projection range, but I'm never really worried because I know that my guys can outdo their projection sometimes. And I feel like it's harder for those other guys to meet their really high projection all the time to really beat me. So
Yeah,
there's always two sides of a coin, you know what I mean?
for sure. So objectively, Baked Mayfield, I do have you with the win over me this weekend, but I'm coming for your ass.
Yeah, I agree. I think Baker Mayfield probably gets the win here.
Next up, we got my brother Hallmayan Jigvas versus La Porta Potty, my previous opponent. Right now, it's got my brother projected to win, but not by much, only by 2 points.
And
However, La Porta Potty does not have a defense set right now, so I'm sure that'll change.
He doesn't have a defense on his bench either.
Oh, okay. So fix that.
Maybe he got burnt by. Maybe he's got Dallas defense or something. He got burnt.
Maybe, yeah, that's possible.
But I don't know. We'll see if he goes to that strategy. Maybe that's what he's just like. Hey, I got to think out of the box here. I got to try to do something. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but it's an interesting matchup because they're both weird teams. You got Derek Carr versus Anthony Richardson, which not the greatest quarterbacks, but
yeah. And you got
I think it's a stalemate right there.
Anthony Richardson against Pittsburgh too, like.
Although Eric does have Jordan Love, who's projected to come back this week.
Oh, so that could be a bump for him.
That could be a game changer. But it is against the 3-0 Vikings and a hurt Jordan Love, so who knows?
Yeah, Vikings have been good on defense too.
But yeah, no, I think this is going to be a close match. I think I'm going to go against my brother again and say La Porta Potty gets the win. But it is a very close match.
All I have to say is if your brother loses again, then he better tell you to get off this podcast because that'd be...
Yeah. He did not like my response last week.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, he was not a fan. But hey, I'm just an analyst. I just call it as I see
it. He just calls it how he sees it. We just have breaking
exactly.
news.
Next up, we got this Mr. Swollen Units versus Prestige Worldwide. Again, no defense set. B Liga. What are we doing?
B League defense hate. Also, Chef Boi HC is just out here making kicker moves.
That's right.
Kickers are the new tight end this year. I don't think on that.
You're dropping MVP Evan McPherson for Chris Boswell.
For Chris Boswell, who's ranked number 2.
I don't hate that move. I actually praise it.
Don't score a lot of touchdowns, man. Steelers don't score a lot of touchdowns.
They just make 50-yard bombs, and he can make it.
Exactly.
Maybe I need to start looking at kickers.
Kickers are the new tight end.
I'm not gonna waste a claim on McPherson, though, or should I?
No, you could do better than McPherson.
I got Young Wei Koo right now. He's just has been
Yeah, he's a
holding
weird
up.
kicker this year. He's like good, but not great.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
But
We'll
this
see.
matchup, I see some exciting things. We got Saquon and Joe Mixon going up against Derrick Henry and Jordan Mason. That's some good running backs. Even shit, we even got Jamar Chase versus Devontae Adams. That's gonna be interesting. Cole Kmet against Trey McBride, Zach Moss against Aaron Jones, going in a revenge game. Chicago defense versus no one as of yet. But yeah, no, this is going to be a good match. Shit, even without the defense in, Prestige Worldwide is projected to win with 57%. I got him going 4-0.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's the guy to beat. You gotta really bring your A game. You guys are gonna have to play above projection. You guys are gonna have to go and ball out to beat him right now. That's just what it comes down to. So yeah,
Yeah.
I got Prestige going. He's the favorite.
The only bit of confidence I can give to Mr. Swollen Units is you got Kyler Murray going up against Washington, who just gave up 33 points against the Bengals. And at least as far as offenses go right now, I got to give Arizona over the Bengals. But and then you got Jamar Chase also going up against Carolina. So those are some two possible high performing people. So I still got Prestige getting the win, but Swollen Units, I'm not counting you out.
Yeah, you can never count anyone out per se. It's just they're gonna have to play their best game. They have to be
Yeah.
on their P's and Q's.
Next up, we got Pickens Up Your Sister versus Gridiron Gods. Let's see who you guys got. CJ Stroud versus Dak. Interesting. Okay, both of those are going up against less less than mediocre teams. So yeah, I think we got some good matchups. Gibbs, Kamara, Brian Robinson, Tony Pollard. Um, Running back room for Gridiron Gods is a little concerning, but he's got some pieces that could be good.
Yeah,
Um,
he's struggling. Like, you don't have to sugarcoat it. Gridiron Gods, he's definitely got the biggest hill to climb. He needs to get some of these guys in shape. Brandon Ayuk's got to start playing better. Tony Pollard's going to need to start finding the end zone. He's going to need to pep talk Travis Kelce, get him out of his girlfriend's, stage, and say, hey, man, it's time to play some football, brother. All right?
yeah,
The international tour is over. Let's play some football, Travis Kelce. Stop being a bitch. All right?
right. Let's play some fucking football. But
Pickens Up Your Sister, I hope you lose because you cost me last week, so I don't really care.
do you wanna put your bets on Pickens Up Your Sister again?
No, absolutely not.
I want to see the other one.
I was just say if we wanted to do, I'm down to do maybe Hallmine and Jigba's and Laporta Potty. If you want to take Laporta Potty, I'll take your brother.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm down. I'll put my bets on the porta potty.
All right, let's double or nothing on the dollar, so $2 bet here.
$2. Okay.
And then I don't know if you want to do nipple again or if you wanted to come up with something else.
I can't think of one right now, but how about loser has to sing a Taylor Swift song?
Okay, yeah, on the pod.
All right. All right.
At least 30 seconds to a minute on it.
30 seconds to a minute. All right.
All right.
Winner's choice, but it has to be a Swift song.
Yes, I like it.
All right.
Perfect.
Last up, we got. Oh, sorry.
Oh, the bet is official.
Bet's official.
Yeah, last matchup: Slick Conseco versus Kirko Chains.
This is the only 50-50 matchup of the week, which is interesting.
Yeah, 1 point separates them on the projection.
Both definitely have some pieces that I like and don't like. I like Josh Allen. He's a dog. I like Stephon Diggs. I like, Pittsburgh's defense over the Colts. That's a good matchup. I think they'll do good. On the other side, you got Sam Darnold against the Packers, which is interesting. The Packers defense has been really hot, but Sam Darnold has been looking elite, and I hate to say that.
He's been good, man. I don't know what it is,
He's
but
been
yeah,
very good. Scary Terry. I think he's about to fucking emerge, bro. Like he finally has a good quarterback to throw him the fucking ball. He's gonna pop the fuck off.
yeah,
Amari
he,
Cooper going up
yeah,
against
he
the Raiders, another good piece. Um,
Raiders struggle.
Only thing that I'm not too sure about, surprisingly, is Dallas going up against Dallas defense against the Giants. Not to call the Giants good, but Malik Neighbors, wow,
Yeah,
best fucking receiver
talk to
right
me
now.
about it, bro. Talk to me about it.
Number one
He's
fantasy
making.
receiver in fantasy football right now.
He
Yeah,
is nasty. He is elite, bro. I literally was watching the Browns game, bro. Daniel Jones underthrew him, bro, and it looked like we had the easiest interception, bro. Malik Neighbors jumped and like floated for like 5 seconds and fucking mossed us, and like 2 plays later ran the nastiest little fucking like fucking corner route, slant corner route that just lost us in the corner, bro. Like, and like we have good DBs, bro. Like we're not bad DBs. Like making good DBs look silly is crazy.
yeah. I
Um, yeah, he's the
but
truth.
despite that, even though the two teams are incredibly even, I'm going to give the edge to Kirko Chains, and it's only because I like Brandon Aubrey bet more than Jake Moody.
The kicker,
Kickers are going to win this game.
well, the kicker is the kicker in this
Yeah,
scenario. But
but
I'm gonna give the matchup to Slick and Senko here. I think Josh Allen is a game changer. I know Baltimore's defense is good, but Josh Allen is better. I think he's gonna put up a big performance for him and help him out.
that's true. But yeah, I
Um,
think that concludes it for B Liga.
that's B Liga for us. Hunter, let's dive into some of these Week 4 matchups for from Premier League. Um,
Let's
I don't know if you want to talk about yours first, or if you want to save that. I know you're pretty excited about your matchup this week.
let's save it a little bit.
I
Let's
like
start from the back end and move our way through.
Okay, perfect. So, I got Chi-Town Bear Down. Is that who you got?
Yep.
Taking on America's team this week.
Wow. And looking at the comparison through the ESPN app, they have the advantage everywhere except the flex for America's team.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's, man, holy cow. Jaden Daniels over Purdy, Achan over Connor, Brian Robinson over Eckler, Jefferson over St. Brown, Marvin Harrison over Ayuk, Kincaid over Kelsey, and then Devontae Adams over McLaurin. But, B League.
Yeah, and
B
he
League
doesn't
pretty
have
high.
much to. Doesn't look like Austin Eckler is going to be playing this week with that concussion he suffered late in that game
Yeah.
or early in that game, and it's not looking too hot for him running back wise on the
Man.
bench either. Ty Chandler or Roshan Johnson. That's
Oof.
all he has.
All right. Well, so I think the projections got it pretty on hand here. Now, that's not to say that Amon-Ra St. Brown can't pop off on a Monday night, and James
Travis
Conner
Kelsey
can't.
could figure it out, maybe.
Maybe he at least gets in the end zone. Maybe, and then James Conner. I always feel good about James Conner going into a week, especially against the
Yeah.
Washington team. So there's hope, but man, if America's team just doesn't lay a stinker, I think this is a pretty easy win.
Yeah,
for
that's
them
a
this
that's a
week.
very big uphill battle right there for Chi-Town Bear Down.
Yeah, I agree with you there. This next matchup has Manfred's Bitch taking on Teal Barbie and his Kens. Now, can the two-time champ get back on the winning track? I think he does this week against Cade. Cade's just, man, his team is off to a slow start. There's just no way else to explain it. Like Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle with Tua's injury, Zay Flowers just with that offense kind of struggling early, passing wise at least. They're running the ball like crazy, but
Yeah, I mean, starting the year on paper, this team looked like it could be a contender. I wouldn't say it was a championship caliber team, but I mean, Evan Ingram at the tight end, we had a chance with Zay Flowers, Bijan and Josh Jacobs, Jalen Waddle, Tua doesn't get hurt, that's a completely different scenario. And then just the flex is a rotation of guys that are really flex players at best. And now it's, Josh Jacobs isn't living up to the hype. He's not doing terrible, but he's not living up to the hype kind of he was going to get with Green Bay. Maybe that changes getting Jordan Love back. Jalen Waddle is catching 2 passes, 3 passes a game at best. He has nobody throwing the ball. He's got Evan Ingram out, who's been hurt for the last 2 weeks. And it's just been tough, very tough.
Yeah, I mean it's been tough sledding for some of these guys up here, man, and so you just kind of try to squeak out wins when you can, and hopefully you can make a move here or a move there or find a good waiver wire. But it's tough, man. It's tough when guys that you spend high draft picks on just don't show up. And I know plenty of that last year. That's kind of what killed me the most was when you needed guys to step up, they don't. It cost you a lot of games. So wish Cade the best, but Tilbury I think's got this one in the bag. The third matchup, Big Daddy D taking on Cup of Bullshit. Your excuse.
That's a 50-50 matchup right there.
That is a 50-50 matchup. Clint is 2-1. Big Daddy D is 1-2, but Dylan is coming off his biggest week in a while. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny if it's the biggest game he's ever had, but 189 is no joke. So,
yeah. I mean, the wide receiver advantage, running back advantage, definitely to Dylan. Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry, that's a solid combo.
yeah,
Malik Neighbors, DK Metcalf, another, all 4 of those guys are top 10. Prescott versus Josh Allen, obviously you're going to have to give it to Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end, Ferguson to Laporta. I don't even know if Laporta's going to play this week.
Yeah,
And Dallas is just kind of lost right now, so you don't really know. That's a toss-up and a half for both. And then defensive-wise, Raiders versus Cleveland, don't know. Packers versus Minnesota, don't know. So it's really just if any, 1 or 2 guys on Dylan's side between the 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers lays an egg, then that gives Clint a solid chance, but his team has to produce.
Clint's team's really going to need those running backs to show up. He's going to need Shaheed to catch a big touchdown. He's going to need Godwin to keep doing what he's doing. And he's going to need a stinker between the 4 of Kyron, Derrick Henry, Neighbors, and Metcalf. He's going to need a stinker for one of them. Because if all 4 of those guys go off, it's really not going to matter, I think, what his team does. Because if they put up 20 apiece, it's just going to be too much to overcome. But then again, Josh Allen could be a difference maker. But I don't know. Man. I don't know. I feel like this Cowboys team knows this Giants team pretty well. I think they're going to have some success this week. You would hope, from a fantasy standpoint. So I think Dylan's in the driver's seat, but I think Clint definitely has the guys to win if they can kind of play up. They play at a high level.
Absolutely.
But we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not sure if the matchups are going to be there for him. Next matchup here is I have Gus Johnson taking on the meme team, Will. And right now, man, he's got a lot. He still has injuries bugging him, man. Kenneth Walker, still questionable. Jerome Ford did not practice today. He's questionable. Jamar Chase now has a questionable tag. Now, I don't know if that's really anything to be worried about, but he is getting Romo Dunze. So he'll have him. Gesicki at the tight end. But yeah, he does have Aaron Rodgers. He did go ahead and get Aaron Rodgers, so he is starting to move on from Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, but that's a tough matchup against a really good Denver defense.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, Anthony Richardson's going against Pittsburgh, so just not a good matchup week for his quarterbacks in general. you hope that he's probably hoping that the veteran guy can have a little more success against a good defense than the second-year guy. But yeah, I mean, I think this is Gus Johnson's game to lose. Jordan Mason, J.K. Dobbins, Nico Collins, Rasheed Rice. He's got a good team, but you still got to show up, still got to put up the points. So, he only had 109
Yeah.
last week. So
I mean,
he's
the
he's got
projection
to
is
show up.
tough. The line has him at winning at 27.6 points. That's a lot to overcome. A lot to overcome.
Yeah, that's a tough ask of Will's injured team. I think when Will gets Kenneth Walker back, gets Deebo Samuel back,
Absolutely.
he can kind of stop worrying as much. But until you start seeing those guys healthy in the lineup, it's stressful for him right now. He's definitely got to figure out some patches. So
Well,
we'll
Kenneth
see what
and
happens.
Deebo.
Yeah, yep. So that's tough to have to get a patch in the wide receiver room and the running back room. That's always a tough fucking ask to do. So
Yeah.
We'll see if he can hang around and see if he can. At this point, he's not in contention for the relegation. Obviously, that's going to be the winless Spencer Middleman. I'm just trying to see how many times I can bring up his.
Getting
winless.
relegated in 2 leagues might be tough on him. He might need to take a break.
Yeah, take a Zen break, recuperate, stuff like that. And speaking of the winless, let's go into my matchup. How about that? We'll go into your matchup last. So we'll go to my matchup against Barry's boys. It's a premier matchup across both leagues here. 2 undefeated teams, 3-0. Only one's leaving with a win. Kyle's projected 121, me 113. We touched on it a little bit already. The matchups. Man, it's going to be a fun one to watch, man. Like, there's a lot of primetime games involved as well. Like, he's got Sunday night. I've got Monday night. Okay, we each have one then. Sorry, never mind. Do I have a Thursday night? I thought I had a Thursday night. I don't. Does he got a Thursday night? Oh, he's got Tyreek Hill on Monday night as well. Is it a double Monday nighter again? It is.
Looks like it.
Tennessee, Miami, and then Seattle Lions. Okay. But yeah, I mean, man, this is going to be potentially could be a really high scoring game. I could also see it ooh, almost got a double peak.
Absolutely.
Or it could be kind of a slower, race to 100 kind of game, just because some of the matchups are difficult. I think Lamar against Buffalo is a little tougher than his projection. Maybe Indianapolis is honestly terrible, so I could honestly see Najee Harris having a good game, but I don't know. Tyreek Hill with a bad quarterback. New England's pretty good in the pass game. Like, they have a pretty good pass defense there. They're a tough defense. But man, I just don't know, man. It's gonna be a slobber knocker. I'm just hoping that my guys can show up. Can David Montgomery continue getting touchdowns? Can Zach Moss be the guy in Cincinnati? Can Garrett Wilson find a little success? I'm not asking him to boom for 40. I mean, I just need to get to 15. Can he do that? I don't know. With Pat on him, he's gonna need a touchdown probably. Diggs, I think, could have a really big game in Jacksonville, especially with Tank Dell. He's questionable. Could be a big game for him. And then Amari Cooper, he didn't practice, or I think he was limited today. But he gets veteran rests all the time. So I think against Las Vegas, we could find success. It's gonna be if our dipshit fucking piece of shit quarterback can not be terrible. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, I don't know. I still think I get the win though. That's just me being me though. Like, my ego's too big to say that I'm gonna lose. But it's definitely gonna be a game where I have to show up, or I will take the L. Like, I gotta have somebody pull up and pop off for a big game, and I gotta have some consistent play behind it as well. It can't be a 30-point game from one guy and then 10s from everyone else. It's gotta be 20 here, 12, 15 here, 12, 15 there. It's gotta be that kind of game.
Yep. It's going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be around 120, I think, for both you guys. It's just who has that one person to pop off.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be a good game, Kyle. I'm excited. And just side note, me and Kyle are facing off in the fantasy baseball championship game right now too. So it ends Sunday too. So Sunday's a big day for the both.
Unless there's a tie.
Unless there's a tie. Unless there's a tie. But let's talk about your matchup, man. I know you're excited about this one, and I mean I am too. It's one of the higher projected matchups for both teams. So pretty fun. What do you take us through your thoughts on it?
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, very underrated in my opinion. We have the top two tight ends, fantasy-wise, going up against each other, Brock Bowers and Dallas Goedert. Who would have thought Brock Bowers would be number 2 ranked?
Crazy.
But we have Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes. And, I mean, Burrow's going against Carolina, so I got to give him the edge in that one. As much as Patrick Mahomes can show up against the Chargers have one of those weird defenses where they can kind of pop off, especially in the divisional games.
Yeah, people underrate like the effect divisional games have. Like,
Right,
it's just different. It's just a different game.
absolutely. And then you have the number 1 running back in Saquon versus the number 3 in James Cook, which is another very underrated matchup. James Cook has just been that workhorse, that guy that Buffalo's been looking for the last 3-4 years since they got Josh Allen to kind of start showing up, showing out every year. So again, I take that edge, but then it starts to lean more towards him. He's got Aaron Jones over Etienne, which I could see absolutely. Aaron Jones has been, with how well the offense has been in Minnesota, I think it's very underrated, the fact that Aaron Jones has turned out to be the player that he has. But again, he's going up against a tough defense in Green Bay. It's a divisional matchup, and I think it's going to be very, 50-50 both ways. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of, one team's passing, one team's running, trying to burn out the clock more so than the other. I think it's going to be a good mix of both passing and running in that game. Etienne versus Houston. Houston's a weird team this year. They were very good last year. This year, they're just meh. And so we'll see how it goes. That's another division matchup where you never know really what's going to happen. But Jacksonville's offense is lost right now. I don't think they have any identity. They don't really know what's going on over there. And then again, CeeDee Lamb over DJ Moore, absolutely. CeeDee Lamb's got the edge. But then it's Devontae Smith over Drake London, which gets weird because I don't think Devontae Smith is playing in that game.
I don't either, bro. Dude, he got knocked out, bro. Like,
Yeah, it was bad.
It'd be a disservice if he played this game, I think.
Absolutely. Especially, like we had talked about earlier, they've got their bye week 5.
Yeah,
No need to
there's
force him back. You
no
can
need.
afford to take another kind of loss if needed, and just roll into week 6 kind of with your guys that you need to kind of show
Get
up.
healthy, yeah.
AJ Brown's coming back.
Because, I mean, they traded for Jahan Dotson, so they feel good about him. They feel good about Goddard, obviously, and they got Saquon. So
Right.
I think that plays in exactly what you're thinking. Play it safe.
So
have a
I think
short
I get the
season.
edge in that one as much as, ESPN wants to say Devontae Smith has the edge. And then, who knows, even if Devontae Smith does play, how much of a factor is he going to be if they already know that he's kind of dealing with an injury? And then the tight ends, Goddard and Brock Bowers, that's a 50-50 matchup right there. It's really just who gets utilized more. And, one, Goddard's the number 1 tight end, and 2, with the top 2 receivers being out, I think he gets the edge there as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree on that. I agree with that. And Cleveland's linebackers have done a good job taking tight ends out of the game. Now,
Yeah.
running backs and the number 2 receivers have done well against Cleveland so far, but the tight ends have been not as loud. I'll say that.
Yeah, and
And
then
like you said, Goddard's got the edge with the more targets, I think.
yeah, absolutely. So and then flex, two running backs that are really good, two starters, Tony Pollard for Tennessee, and they're going up against Miami, who's another team that's kind of lost right now. They don't have their quarterback. They don't really have any offensive momentum, so I don't think that Miami's going to have the ball for very long. And then Devin Singletary against Dallas. Devin Singletary is ranked number 18 right now, and he's going up against the worst running defense in the league. So it gives the edge to Tony Pollard, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'd say I have you winning this one, bro. Like I just think like across the board, player to player, matchup to matchup, you just have the advantage. Like the Rams have not had a good pass defense, so DJ Moore could have the opportunity this week to have a good week. Drake
Yeah,
London, that offense is slowly getting better and better, and no matter what he does, he's going to be better than whoever Devonta Smith's replacement is going to be, whether that's Gabe Davis or Andre Yoshavash from Cincinnati. And then like I said, the with Smith Brown not going to play, I think Goddard's going to be a machine plus and Barkley. So like you're tapping into both of those like supplements plus on top of their normal workload. Like you can expect good shit from them. And Carolina's awful, so Joe Burrow in theory should have a big game.
yeah,
So I think the matchups are there for you. I think um, just his injuries, that injury to Devonta Smith is there for you to help out. I think this is, and then big win last week. So I think you're kind of gonna follow. You're gonna ride the momentum and get a big win this week, bro.
yeah. I gotta just keep building. This is underrated, very important game for me because this puts me 2 games ahead of being relegated rather than just the one right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I gotta pull this out. I have to.
Yeah, it's kind of a scramble. Like you gotta try to get to that 500 mark, get above that 500 mark as soon as you can, so you're not
Yep,
battling uphill all season. So big
yep.
game for you, and the same reverse side for Purdy, man. 0-3 start. You get a win here. Now he's tied with you. He's tied with a couple other guys that are going to be 1-3. Start to change his season around, but going 0-4, man, that is tough to come back from. So big game for both of you guys here, I would say. So
Huge game, huge game.
another big game to keep your eye on.
So we'll see how it goes. Lots of good games that's
Yeah,
coming up
yeah,
this
man, I'm
week.
excited. I'm excited. Make sure you guys check out the GFR Gloss Fantasy Report. They drop weekly newsletters on the league. Great stuff there. And check us out. Make sure you guys check us out every week on YouTube, man. And who knows, maybe we might have a live sesh one week, if we can get enough interest from the crew, from the
Uh-oh.
crowd, from the audience. Maybe like on a Sunday, watching the early 11 o'clock window games, we can set up a little live stream. Maybe I don't know.
I like that idea.
But that'd be a lot of fun. Um,
If you
thank
guys
you.
do I'll be working, but if you guys do the afternoon streams, I'll join.
Yeah, shit, doing all dayer. Doing all dayer. That'd be fun. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. It's been a pleasure. It's glad to have you guys on as always.
Of course.
Look forward to doing more shows with you guys.
Absolutely.
Do we? I know I'm looking at the time, but do we want to do any hot takes like last week?
Yeah, we can do some hot takes.
Okay.
You got a couple in mind?
Yeah. Again, I got one for fantasy, one for NFL.
All right.
For fantasy, I have Scary Terry getting 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, okay.
Him and Daniels are connecting. The Cardinals' defense is a little lackluster. I have him not getting 1 but 2.
All right. I love that.
Okay.
And as far as NFL, call me crazy if you want. I have the Chiefs taking their first loss against the Chargers.
Against the Chargers. All
I think
Okay.
right.
Harbaugh runs a very disciplined team. The close games that the Chiefs have won, including like the Falcons and Who the hell did they play after before then?
The
Bengals.
Bengals.
Bengals. Yeah, they won with cheap ass penalties, and whether they were warranted or not, I think Harbaugh runs a disciplined team. So I have the Chiefs getting their first loss.
There you go.
I like that.
I like that. I like that a
Hunter,
lot.
do you got anything, Hunter?
So I'm gonna start the other way around. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Colts hand the Steelers their first loss of the year. I
I
think the
love
Colts
that.
can pull one
Okay.
out. I think that the Steelers are kind of in the same boat. They've kind of lucked by. I mean, obviously their defense is really good, um, but Anthony Richardson is a mobile quarterback, and I think that's going to play into their favor big time this week. And I think that that gives the Steelers their very first loss of the season. And then I'm going to go over to the fantasy side. And again, I'm going to stick with the touchdown scores. And I think on my team, I think Devin Singletary is going to have one of the best, if not a top 5 running back performance this week
Against the Cowboys.
against the
Interesting. Okay.
Cowboys.
I like that. I like that.
Guess we'll find out tomorrow night.
Fantasy wise, let me see. I think fantasy wise, I think Stephon Diggs has a 30-point game this week. I think
Oh,
I
Okay.
think that
Stephon
he's
Diggs.
gonna go eat up a little bit in Jacksonville. Home game against Jacksonville. He's gonna have the hot hand. CJ's gonna feed him. He might put up two touchdowns. He might just have a bunch of catches and a bunch of yards. But I think he's getting the 30. I think he's gonna really have a boom game this week and help me get a win against Kyle. Now NFL, I think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to. Let me see. Is it a home game? Yeah, I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to walk into Lambeau Field and take a dub against Jordan Love and the Packers. Their defense has been so crazy good lately, and Justin Jefferson is just. I know him and Jair Alexander had some beef, and Alexander got the best of him this last time. So Justin Jefferson's going to have a little vendetta, and I think he's going to go in and have a big game. Vikings win in Green Bay this week.
All right. We'll just have to see.
Alrighty. Hell
I
yeah.
think I picked the Packers, but I think it's going to be a close game.
It's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a great game.
Absolutely.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. This has been another episode of the Commissioners Podcast. God bless you all, and make sure you guys are subscribed. Stopping.